and our distinguished subject expert, Dr. Priyanka Chawla, ma'am. I'm Nikita Khandelwal, the coordinator of this program, invites you all on behalf of Research Foundation of India. As we all know, that it's marked the day third of our program on a systematic way of research paper writing, and the topic of today's session is application of SPSS for data analysis. And for this, Dr. Priyanka Chawla ma'am is here with us to guide all of us. But before we head towards the session, let's throw a light on the journey of Dr. Priyanka ma'am. So a very positive good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
It includes MBA and awarded PhD in year 2015 and pursuing postdoctoral program. Ma'am has served to many organizations like Acropolis, Delhi College, and many more. With this, presently, ma'am is associated with Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Indore as a senior assistant professor. In ma'am's area of interest, it includes self-help growth, microfinance, operation research and research methodology, financial management, statistics, and many more. Beside this, ma'am has anchored and coordinated and conducted various workshops, FDPs, conference, and due to ma'am's energetic multitasking qualities and familiarity with subject of her interest, ma'am has been invited as a resource person and subject expert by various organizations and delivered session on ICT tools, research methodology, hands-on SPSS, and many more. Ma'am has attended various national and international conferences where she has presented various research papers. And ma'am has more than 30 publications to her credit. Ma'am has also published 2 books bearing ISBN number, and she has attended and participated in several faculty development programs, workshop on research methodology also. Ma'am has also been appointed as an editorial member and reviewer of various reputed e-journals. Ma'am is a recipient of many awarded like winner of International Case Study Competition, honored with the Faculty of the Year Award at Acropolis Institute in January 2020, honored with Research Excellency Award, received the Best Paper Presentation Award in an international conference, honored with the International Award for Achievement of Excellence in the field of management in international conference. Ma'am has also chaired session at international conferences, and many more online videos lectures are also available on YouTube. Ma'am's articles are also published in Siksha.com, Metro Vratha, and Free Press newspaper also. So with this, without any further delay, I feel it's my honor to invite Dr. Priyanka ma'am on RFI's platform to guide our all the participants. So ma'am, I request you to please hold the platform, or the footprint is yours.
First of all, I would like to thank Nikita, ma'am, for this lovely introduction of mine. I hope my voice is audible.
Yes, ma'am, it's audible.
And I would like to show my sincere gratitude towards Research Foundation of India, Dr. Saurabh Jain sir, Dr. Ajay Jain sir, Yogaraj ji, and entire team of RFI, because due to Saurabh sir and Ajay Jain sir, they have full faith in me. So I got the opportunity. So without wasting much of your time, let us start and let us directly jump to the PPT. But before that, how many of you are well versed with the SPSS software? How many of you are well versed with SPSS software? No, ma'am. Somebody has raised her hand. Can you please tell me, is there any query? Yes, you have written yes. Most of you have written yes, I think, है ना? Only few are there who have not written yes. At least I'm thinking you might have you might have aware about this basic, the basic part, how to feed the data in SPSS. I think so. Most of you know this thing. If you are not well versed, but you know how to enter data into SPSS, because it will save us time. Unnecessary, I have to, yes. Unnecessary, then I have to waste my 15 to 20 minutes put entering into data, just show the demo of entering or feeding the data into SPSS. And so I do not want to waste this time. So, okay, the next question is, if you want to learn from basic, then we will have a different there's SPSS software class. We will uh, schedule this at another time, but it is specifically for the quantitative technique of SPSS. So we will be directly jumping into it. Now, the next question is, how many of you understood the difference between descriptive as well as inferential statistic? Descriptive as well as inferential statistics. How many of you know the difference between the two? Or if you know very well, then you can unmute yourself and answer to my question. Descriptive and inferential statistics. Do you know the difference between this? Differential and inferential statistics. Are you aware of this? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Descriptive. Sorry, can I go ahead?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Descriptive statistics is something which will help us to describe the data. So inferential is something which will help us to predict. So arrive at some interpretations.
So in short, we can say descriptive statistics means we are describing something. We are describing with the help of mean, median, mode, right?
Yeah.
We are describing something with the help of percentage, frequency. For that purpose, we have to use tabular format. We have to use pie chart, or we can say bar chart, bar graph, right? But when we talk about inferential statistic means we draw some conclusion, we come to some conclusion based on the sample, and here hypothesis testing is done, right?
Yes.
You're describing something like you want to know, study the customer perception, or you want to study the behavior pattern of customers, right? So when you describe something that most of the um, participants or female most of the females go for window dressing, few of them actually enter into the mall with the intention of buying something, buying attire. So this is called describing it. 70% of the women, this data is collected from 70% of women and 30% of male. So this is describing with the help of this tabulation form or tabular form, or with the help of some charts, right? But when we talk about inferential means we apply some test. We have applied some test. We here we have hypothesis testing is done, and we draw some conclusion with the help of some sample. Okay. Now, my next question is, do you know how when we present data, presentation of data, right? When we talk about presentation of data, so tables are used when we present the data. The tables are used for frequency distribution, and graphs are used on the basis of means of a scale of variable. Matlab, that means if you have categorical data, do you know the difference between categorical data and uh, or we can say non-metric data or metric data? Do you know the difference between metric and non-metric data? Okay, categorical, non-categorical data.
Categorical is non-numerical. It is like male, female, like that. The categories are described where it is not quantitative. Wherein the numerical data, what it is represented with the help of numbers. So numbers, numericals are used to represent that coding, to code it. So it is measurable. So
Yes.
it gives a measurable output.
Yes. So I'm going to share my screen first and then I'll show the chart. So this is the chart. So basically we have, if we divide the data into two parts, so there are majorly, the one is quantitative and qualitative. The variables are quantitative and qualitative. When we talk about quantitative, quantitative means it is in number, numerical form. Quantitative means we collect in the numbers. So the first type is we can measure with the help of scale data. Under scale data, we have discrete and continuous. Discrete means the exact number. Like if I talk about how many children do you have, so you will say 1, 2, 3. You cannot say 1.5, right? So this is discrete, full exact number. How many score do you obtain out of 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is full number, right? But when we talk about continuous data, continuous means where we have fraction. Okay, when we talk about fraction, decimal point, like height, right? If I talk about weight, 48.8. Are you getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Just a minute. Huh? Sorry for the disturbance. So when we talk about this quantitative data, quantitative means number based, numerical based. So we can collect with the help of discrete and continuous series. So I was explaining discrete means full number and continuous means when we gather data in fraction form or decimal form. So liters in fraction format or decimal. Height is in decimal, 22.8. 55.6. Weight is also in decimal. So this is called continuous. Okay. When we talk about qualitative means categorical. The another name of categorical is metric or non-metric. Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
The another name of qualitative is categorical data, right? So when we talk about category, that means we are actually it is in string format, or we can say it is not numerical. It is not in numerical form. So we assign some numbers to make it. We assign some codes. We assign some numbers to make it in a numeric form. So when we collect data in the form of nominal or ordinal series, so the ordinal scale or nominal scale, it is called categorical. Nominal means gender, male, female. So if we see the male and female, this is a string variable, character. But we are assigning number. For male, it is 1. For female, it is 2. So we are converting this data. So that's why it is called categorical. Ordinal, similarly, in case of ordinal, which car do you like the most? Safari, or we can say Hyundai, or we can say Honda City, or we can say any other Bolero. Okay. So up you give preference as per your choice. Accordingly, you are giving number 1, 2, 3, 4. So you are converting it into numerical form, although its basic nature is not in numeric form. So that's why it is called qualitative, and this quantitative means we are collecting data in numbers. Okay. So now we go to directly jump into SPSS. So I hope you understood this. So this is the icon of SPSS, right? This is the icon of SPSS. When you open this SPSS, there are two ways. Either you import your entire Excel sheet. When you import your data from Excel to SPSS, so it will extract the information. Then another way is just you manually you type. So it will take time. So generally you collect data in Google form. Most of after COVID, or it is in demand, but before COVID, we generally collect data in the hard copies, and that time it was quite difficult. It became a robust task for us to enter data manually. But now the things are possible, and we collect data through Google form. And when we collect data, it gives us Excel sheet. So we can import data from Excel to SPSS. So here we have the option of import data. If it is an Excel file, we will click over here. Even if it can read CSV, SAS data. So these are other options, but Excel is the easiest one. So you have to search your Excel file and convert, and just simply open, go to open, and then click on retrieve. Okay. So I already have this demo. Yes, this is my, see, can you see this? Can you see this file? This
Yes,
is
ma'am.
the file. So what I can do with demo import. So I can do one thing. I can easily import the data. File, and the find option, we go for import and Excel, and I have to search in the desktop demo import Excel file. Okay, open. See, this is the preview. Simply click on OK. It will extract the information. See, it has extracted my data. So serial number is of no use. Now we have gender, but the thing is, whatever we have mentioned over there, it just copy and pasted it down. But we have to remember, 1 was assigned to male and 2 was assigned to female. We have to remember this. Age, again, we have to remember. 1 was assigned to which variable, 2 was assigned to which variable. Okay. So first, what we have to do, when we open this SPSS file, in the left hand, in the bottom left hand corner side, we can see 2 tabs. First is data view. Data view means where you can enter data, and variable view means where you can enter the variables, the name of the variables. So serial number is of no use. Okay, we will come to gender. So gender, this is the name of variable. Type is obviously numeric, although there are n number of types, but we have to convert data into numeric form, so it is numeric. Okay, by default it comes numeric. Width means the size, the character, number of character you can enter. So up to 2 characters you can enter. If you want, you can increase the size by clicking here. Okay. But although it is not required in numeric data. Decimal, how much decimal point you want. So by default it is 2, but it is better to take 0. So you can click here. You can increase decimal point means like 58.68. The 0.68 will appear if we give 2. If we enter 2 over here. But if we do not want any decimal point, then go and reduce to 0. Label, n number of paragraph, you can write it down under this label column. Value, now this is most important. Whenever you extract data or import file, or you can if you manually develop the data, so this is most important, and you have to remember for gender, one is for male or female or vice versa. So I know this is my file, so I know very well. So 1 was assigned to female and add. 2 was assigned to male. So this is very important. You have to enter the values of each variable. Age, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is my file. So I know very well key this one was allotted to less than 18 students, less than 18 years. 2 was assigned to the candidates who fall between 18 to 30 years. 3 was assigned to 31 to 45 years. And 4 was assigned to the candidates whose age is more than 45. Okay. Similarly, we have to go for this job. Let us see how many options are there. 1 and 2. So 1 is for private sector and 2 is for public sector. Okay. So this is my file. That's why I know very well. While collecting data, I gave the option 1 for private sector and 2 for public sector. Okay. So you have to remember for your research. Okay. Then add. Then we have experience. Let us see how many options are there for experience. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. Less than 1 year. Value we will assign 1, and less than 1 year. 2 to 3 year. Second, 2 was assigned to 2 to year. 2 to 3 year. Then 3 to 5 year. 3 was assigned to 3 to 5 year. Who is having the experience of between 3 to 5 years, and 4 was assigned more than 5 years. Okay. And then employee performance. Employee performance means this is a variable. Like when we go for any scale-based data, so you write the statement. I am satisfied this. I purchased this green product. I am fully satisfied with green products. I recommend also. So how satisfied are you? Or are you strongly agree with this or disagree with this? So this is based on 5-point Likert scale. So 1 is for strongly disagree. 2 is for disagree. 3 is for neutral. 4 is for agree. 5 is for disagree. Strong. Sorry. Strongly agree. And 1, 2, 3, strongly agree. Sorry. This is agree. Change. And 5 is for strongly agree. So this is similar. This is based on this 5-point Likert scale. These are the statement. So instead of wasting time, I will just copy and paste it over Control V. So I have saved my time. Now, if I talk about this descriptive data, so I told you, do you know the process how to go for descriptive? I told you, na, for descriptive data, what you have to do. Have you asked any question in between? No. Huh. So when we talk about this, so if I want to know the descriptive statistics of my file, of this data, can you help me? Do you know how to go for descriptive analysis? Do you know how to go for descriptive analysis? Hello.
Yeah, ma'am. Checking mean median mode.
So the process is descriptive means we go for mean, median, mode, and go for charts, right? In the tabular format. So how can we go for in the tabular format? You simply click on this analysis. Can you see this analysis? Can you see this analysis?
Yes, ma'am.
Simply click on this. Can you see this descriptive statistics? Can you see this frequency? Either you can go for if you are going for the tabulation purpose or descriptive purpose, you can opt any two, either frequency or descriptive. You can opt this. So I will go for frequency because I want to show chart also. And descriptive, you won't be able to see chart. So, okay, one more thing. Just a minute. One more thing. Can you see this? This is we have assigned some values. So next column is of missing. Missing means if you have missed to enter any data, so it is not going to affect our result, but better if you have missed anything, so you can either take the help of mean, median, mode and assign that particular value. Or if you see that 3 or 3 3 3 3 is maximum, so on a random basis you can also put 3 on the missing place. So column, it is the width size, or it is not going to affect the result. Alignment, again, it is not going to affect the result, because if we go for numeric data, it is by default right hand side, and if we go for string data, this is string data, that is by default left. Okay. So although this experience is not string data, I will converting it into numeric. Now this is important. Just gender, serial number is not of our use. Gender, can you see? So it is nominal or ordinal scale data? It is nominal. Age is nominal. Experience is nominal. But when we go for this Likert scale, so for Likert scale, it is not nominal. We have to convert it into scale. All the statement question will be converted into scale data. Okay. Okay. Now, I was telling you how to go for descriptive analysis. So descriptive means we are simply showing in a tabular form, and you will describe in your own words. And apart from tabular form, we go for charts. So go to frequency. You have to select the variable. Suppose I have to check the descriptive analysis of gender. So I have to click on gender and transfer it into this box, dialog box. go to statistics. If you want to see the standard deviation, variance, or range, you can click on this. If you want to check the normality of data, you can go for skewness and kurtosis. But since it is not scale data, we will not go for checking the skewness and kurtosis technique. We simply check standard deviation and range or anything. This only standard deviation. Chart, since it is this data is categorical data, not a scale data, right? This data is categorical data, or we can say this not scale data. So for categorical data, you have to remember that whenever you talk about categorical data, so you have to select either bar chart or pie chart. Histogram is used for scale type of data. Okay, because we have to check the normality. So normality of data is checked only in case of scale data. So how can you check the scale data? Scale data means when we put some statements, if there are some statements of strongly agree and disagree based, strongly satisfied and dissatisfied. Okay, so there you can check the normality of data. But here we are talking about descriptive, not inferential statistics. So we have to go for either bar chart or pie chart. So I will be selecting bar chart. Chart value should be shown in frequency or percentage. So I will select percentage and continue. And then OK. So here you can see the tabular formulation of gender. So can you tell me how many sample size are there? Anyone? Can anyone tell me? Sample size?
60.
There are 60 sample size, out of which 5 are female and 55 are male. Or we can describe that the data in the data 8.3, the minimum number of females are there, and maximum number of male, that is 91% of male is there. And this is the chart. See, if you want to change the color, you can double click on this. Can you see this? Double click on this. Simply select anyone, this chart or this chart. By default, when I clicked here, so both the charts were selected. If I want to select only one chart, one bar graph, so I will be selecting again. So can you see this yellow? The yellow box out of this bar chart, which can be seen in the female option, not in the male option. So double click on this. You can change the color. See, we have changed the color. And can you see this for frequency? There is no percentage is given. Percentage is not given. Hai na? So we have to select and we have to select this and then this, right? We have to click we have to right click, and you can see here right click, and you can see here this show data labels. Can you see this show data labels? So it is in percentage. Okay, and close it. So you can see 91.6 and 8.33. Now simply click anywhere outside this pop-up window. So it has automatically changed in the output. So you can copy and paste it over there, or you can directly export the file. You can export. Here is the option of export. Can you see the option of export in file tab? See. So if you want, you can change the location. You have to okay. Now cancel this because I do not want to save. So this is called the descriptive analysis, right? Now, if I go for this, hello, are you all there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if I talk about inferential means
Predicting the results.
we are going to apply test. So if we are going to apply test, like in case of scale data, we use scale data, na? So for scale data, we have to check because do you know the difference between parametric test and non-parametric test? Parametric and non-parametric test.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, parametric क्या होता है?
If the data is normally distributed, so then we can apply parametric tests. If it is not normal, then we can use non-parametric tests.
So parametric means when we talk about probability distribution, it focus on mean difference. Here data is normally distributed. When we talk about parametric, na, people generally get confused which test is to be applied. So when we talk about parametric test means here it focus on mean differences, right? It focus on mean differences and it is most trustworthy. So when we go for parametric test, it is necessary that we have to go for scale data. Scale data means
Data which has been categorized, like having a numerical.
no, scale data means it should be in the form of like Likert scale or ratio scale.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
But when we go for categorical data, categorical means not a scale data. Categorical means
Defining some characteristics.
huh. So when we go so there we apply parametric test. So there are some assumptions of parametric test like the data should be normally distributed. So first we have to check whether the data is normal or not. So we have to check this. When we apply parametric test, we have to check another condition that uh, it should be applied on scale data, not on categorical data. So whether our data is categorical or not, because sometimes it happens that when we prepare questionnaire, we are not aware of which type of test is to be applied and we formulate the questions in other way. And when we formulate the question, it is not in the form of scale data. And then when we apply the test, because regression, correlation, t-test, all this required scale data. And most of the people are not aware of this. They simply go for categorical data and then they apply parametric test. So it is totally wrong. Okay. So when we talk about parametric test, there are some conditions, there are few conditions which we have to keep in our mind. That is the data should be normally distributed and we have to go for mean difference. Since it focus on mean differences, so it should be applied on scale data. And when we go for non-parametric data, again there are some, as such there is no assumption, but you can understand like here it is the distribution test is not required, normality test is not required, it is not necessary to fulfill the normality of data. Since if parametric test do not fulfill the normality of data, then we have to apply this non-parametric test. So you have to remember that when it is a categorical data, we should apply non-parametric test. And what is non-parametric test? Like chi-square, um, Wilcoxon sign test, um, right? chi-square हो गया, man whiteley u test, ठीक है? So I was explaining the normality of data, right? So now we will go for normality. Can you tell me for which variable we have to check the normality of data? Can you tell me? Because
All the Likert scale
So here Likert scale is EP1, EP2, EP3. So let us check the normality of data. And before normality of data, I will show you one more thing. Analysis, go to analysis, go to descriptive, again go to frequency. Now reset, we have to choose this EP1, transfer this, statistics. Now, if you want to check normality, so there are two ways. Either you can go for graphical method or you can go for statistical method. So for statistical method, we have skewness and kurtosis. And for graphical method, we have to choose which one. You tell me.
Histogram.
Histogram, because histogram means this distribution. It shows the distribution, normal curve. So you have to click on the show normal curve on the histogram. So you have to click on here and go for continue. So in this way, I will be telling you how to check the normality of data with the help of graphical as well as statistical technique. So EP1, how many N are there? How many number are there? Number of respondents are there? 60. There is no missing one. Skewness, the value of skewness is minus 0.841 and the value of kurtosis is minus 0.238. So here the rule of thumb says that it should be between +1 to -1. So the value is between +1 to -1. Acceptable? Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
So that means the rule of thumb says that normality of data is satisfied because the value of skewness is between +1 to -1 and kurtosis is also +1 to -1. So this is a statistical technique. And this is simply tabular form. Okay, how many are satisfied and how many are dissatisfied. With the help of this, can you see this? Although it is not, the scale is not proper, but we can see the graphical format that it is normally distributed because this is not neither positive skewed nor negatively skewed. If it is positively skewed now, then it will be tilt over here at one side. If it is negatively skewed, then it will be tilt over negative side. If it is negative skewed, then it comes to left hand side. If it is positively skewed, then it comes to right hand side. Okay. So here, this bell-shaped curve is in the middle. So we can say that with the help of graphical, we can say that the data is normally distributed. When the data is normally distributed, we go for parametric test. So let us understand any one example of the parametric test. I will be taking another example for this. Now you will tell me what will be the hypothesis we should frame for this. I will be giving you one background. Okay. I will give you one background. Now you have to tell me which test is to be applied and what hypothesis do we have to frame. Can you see the data view?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So I will be telling you background. Okay. So there are 100 babies. There are 100 babies. We went to the hospital. We collected data in one of the hospital and there were 100 and we recorded the responses of 100 babies. What responses? We recorded the responses of weights of 100 babies. Okay. Weights are in pounds. So when the baby born, his weight is 2.5, 2.8, 3.5, 3.5. So similarly, we have collected the weights of 100 babies. Okay. Now we have to check in the variable view also. What we have done, the weight of baby, the variable is weight of baby. We have collected the data in numeric form. So that's why it comes numeric. Width is just a size that you can increase or decrease. Decimal, here you can see the decimal 2 points. So the weight of baby is 2.50. So that's why it is coming 2.50, because you have increased the decimal point up to 2. Label, ठीक by default I have not mentioned label, but if the statement is large, then you have to give label. Value, so values are not required because this data is not neither categorical and nor the Likert scale based, it is ratio based. So we have simply entered data over here. Okay. Missing, no column is missing, no cell is missing, it is not required. Measure, it is scale data. Ratio and interval is scale data, so that's why we have opted scale. So now we have collected the data of ratio scale data of 100 babies, and now we want to check whether the weight of 100 babies are normal or not. So we have the threshold limit for normal baby. We can say, the doctor says that if the baby's weight is 2.5 kg, sorry, pound, if the baby's weight is 2.5 pound, then he's normal. Okay. Now we want to check ki the weight of 100 babies are normal or not normal. So can you formulate hypothesis? Are you in position to formulate hypothesis?
Yeah, ma'am. The weight of the baby has a significant impact uh, on the health of the babies. If weight of the baby is 2.5, then it says that it's a normal weight of the baby.
Okay, if it is more
Baby
than
can be
2.5,
normal. Sorry.
if it is more than 2.5,
Yeah, it's in good health, definitely.
and if it is less than 2.5, normal.
Then
If
the
it's
baby
not,
is not normal, abnormal.
so in this way we have formulated the hypothesis the weight of baby is not normal. So we can say in this way also, null hypothesis, the weight of baby is not normal, or alternative hypothesis is the weight of baby is normal. Right?
Right.
Okay. Now another question is, which test is to be applied for this? Think over it and tell me. I will be giving you 1 minute because I have to show one more test also. This is called inferential.
Okay. Is this, I mean, data is normally distributed? We can't check that because it's not Likert scale data.
No, it is, although it is not Likert scale or ratio scale, it is the part of this scale data. See, that's why I have put scale over here. So we are applying parametric. So we have to check. It is our duty to check normality. So
T-test?
we have to check normality of, let us check the normality of data. Check it. We have to check because we are applying parametric test.
Yeah.
Since we are applying parametric, we have, it is our duty to check the normality of data. Ratio and Likert both are the part of scale data. So with the help of skewness, we come to know that it is between +1 to -1. Even kurtosis, if we talk about kurtosis, it should be by default we take between +1. No. For skewness, it is +1 to -1, and for kurtosis, it is +3 to -3. So it is, both the things are good. It is fulfilling the norms. It is fulfilling the criteria. Although if we check with the help of chart, if we check this with the help of chart, and we will take histogram, show this normal curve, continue, and okay. Let us check whether the curve is normal. Yes, it is normal. See. So we can say the data is normal. Since it is normal, now we can go for parametric test. Now I am asking, which parametric test do we have to apply?
T-test can be applied?
Yes, because we are talking about only one variable and we have to check with the help of this limit. So only simple t-test should be applied. not independent. Okay, so go for analysis, compare mean, and we have to select one sample t-test because there is only one sample. We are checking only weight of baby. Just transfer this weight of baby in the test variable and the test value, which is test value 2.5. We have to check with the help of 2.5. Na? Option, there is no need to change anything and go for OK. Now you will describe me. Participants will describe me how many. This is called descriptive statistic and this is inferential. So participant will describe me what is N.
Sample size.
Hmm?
Sample size.
And a sample size, so we took the data
100
from
baby.
100 respondents, right? And what is mean? The average of 100 babies is 2.8. Okay, so this shows that there is no, matlab, the weight of babies are good, normal, because it is more than 2.5. Standard deviation means the spread of value in sample, how far the value is away from mean. So it is 0.49 away from mean. Let us come to this inferential statistic. Here we can see that T, the value of T is 7.3, degree of freedom is 99, and this is P value. We in inferential statistic, we come to any decision, whenever we take any decision, it should be based on P value. This is P value. So P value is 0.00. So generally in social science we take 5%. 5% we are not confident, but 95% we are confident. In medical science, we have to be 100% sure. But in other, either we go for 99%, 95%, and 90%. So generally, we do not take 90%. Either we go for 99, that is in medical science, that is 99.99 in medical science, and in social science we go for 95%. So here we can say that 95% we are confident, but only 5% risk is there which we are not confident. So the threshold limit is 0.05. So we have to check this p value with the help of 0.05. If p value is smaller than 0.05, then we will reject null hypothesis and we will accept alternative hypothesis. So what was null hypothesis which was created earlier?
Babies are normal if the weight is
The weight of baby is not normal. It was null hypothesis.
null.
Null hypothesis we will reject and alternative hypothesis we will accept, that is the weight of baby is normal. Okay, so this was the conclusion of inferential statistics. Okay, now I will be taking one more test. This can I will take this one. Again, we have to understand the background. I will be telling you back. Any problem in this? I hope it is clear. Any problem in this?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we proceed with another test? I will be giving you the example of another test. Now, again, I will be giving you the background situation. These are the groups. The groups are in two category 1 and 2. Okay? And this is the cholesterol concentration. This is the cholesterol. The first one is, let us see. This is the group. Group means there are two groups. One is diet conscious group and second one is exercise group. Hello. We have collected the data. We have collected the data from two groups and we collected from 40 and number of respondents. So from data, The data is collected from 20 diet group respondents and 20 exercise group respondents. Okay. So in this way, we have collected 40 respondents. Some are diet conscious and some are doing exercise. Okay. Now we want to check the cholesterol concentration of these group. We want to check whether the cholesterol concentration is more in diet group or exercise group. So there are two groups. Two groups means one is diet group, second is exercise group. So that's why this is categorical data. So that's why we have selected category. Can you see this category nominal? And when we collected the data, the cholesterol concentration of first respondent is 6.123, 6.00, 6.5, 6.2. So it is again in ratio. Ratio comes under scale data. So now it has scale data. We have to check the normality and then we proceed. If it fulfill the criteria of normality, then go for parametric. Otherwise, we can go for non-parametric. Okay. Since I am assuming, or if I want to check, we can check it with the help of this bar chart. If this is satisfying this cholesterol concentration, whether it is satisfying the normality test or not. So let us see with the help of chart. The chart says that it is almost satisfying because the peak is at a higher and it is bell shaped. Or you can go for skewness and kurtosis. Now, I have given you the situation. Now you tell me which type of test is to be applied. I have given you the situation. Now you tell me which type of test is to be applied. Are you getting my point? Are you all listening to me?
Yeah, ma'am.
This was the situation. Sorry. This was the situation.
We can take two sample t-test, ma'am, here.
Two sample means?
Sorry, t-test itself.
Independent or simple or ANOVA or pair t-test? Which one?
So we are going to test for this cholesterol, like diet group as well as exercise group. There are two variables.
There are
And
two
cholesterol is a
variables, there are
dependent
two
variable.
groups. That's why we go for independent test,
Yeah.
independent t-test. But
Yes.
if there are more than two groups, either 3 group or 4 group, then we go for ANOVA. The only difference between t-test and ANOVA is the group. If the groups are 2, then go for t-test. If groups are more than 2, then go for ANOVA. Okay. And here we have to compare the mean. Since we are going to compare the mean, we compare these two groups. So that's why we go for mean comparison. Under mean comparison, there are two groups. That's why we will be taking independent sample t-test. Pair t-test is taken when the same thing, like before using Lux, your skin, do you have any satisfaction or not? After using Lux soap, do you have any satisfaction level? Matlab, the same respondents is answering 2 times before using the product and after using the product. So for that purpose, pair t-test is applied. And when we talk about ANOVA, the groups will be increased. Like in case of independent test, we can take only 2 groups. There is a limit when we compare the 2 groups and we need to identify the mean of 2 groups. So we go for independent if the groups or the mean differences of groups is more than 2, either 3 or 4, then we go for ANOVA. So this time we have to check diet and exercise group. So we go for independent test. Okay. Before that, can you frame the hypothesis? Are you in position to frame the hypothesis? Can anybody frame the hypothesis?
Ma'am, diet, cholesterol, see, are we going to say that normal or high? How are we defining cholesterol here, ma'am?
See, when we talk about, are you aware of two-tail test and one-tail test? One-tail test means whether it is at higher level or lower level.
Yeah.
But two-tail test doesn't give you idea about whether it is higher level or at lower level. It gives you idea about whether there is any changes or not.
So, diet group.
So there is no reduction in cholesterol concentration with respect to treatment group. There is no reduction in cholesterol because higher the cholesterol, it is harmful for health, na?
Yeah, so we are differentiating diet group and the exercise group here, based on the content of the cholesterol in the
Yes.
body.
So there is we want cholesterol concentration level should be at the lower level. So there is no reduction in cholesterol concentration with respect to diet group and exercise group. Okay, this would be the hypothesis. Now we have to test. So which variable do we have to test? The dependent variable. Dependent is cholesterol concentration. That is the Likert scale one. Now group variable is the treatment group, this nominal scale. Enter this. Now we have to define the group. Group 1 is 1, group 2 is 2. Continue. Let us check the option. It is not required. There is no changes required in option tab. Simply click on OK. Now let us check the result. So cholesterol concentration, there are two groups, 20 respondents from diet group and 20 from exercise group. Mean, we can see the mean is 6.1 and 5.7. So this mean shows that there is a difference because diet group is having higher mean and exercise group is having lower mean. So that means there is difference. So difference is calculated with the help of this t-test. Can you see this t-test? This one. This is F significance. So this is 11th t-test. So what 11th t-test says? 11th t-test says that population variable variance is equal or not. We are assuming that whatever data we have collected, the population is homogeneous. So if the significance here, specifically in 11th test, so in 11th test, if the significance level is more than 0.05, we assume that the population is homogeneous. Okay. Now, t-test, we can see the t-test. The result of t-test says that 6.845 degree of freedom, 38 at DF 38, the value p-value is 0.000. Again, the p-value is smaller than 0.05. We can say that null hypothesis is rejected. So what will be the null hypothesis and what is the alternate hypothesis?
Null hypothesis, ma'am, when there is no difference between two variables, and alternative hypothesis is when there is a
That
difference.
means there is difference between the treatment level, or there is a difference in exercise group and diet group with respect to cholesterol concentration, right? Right.
Yes, ma'am.
So we can say there is a difference. So in this way, we have satisfied the hypothesis. We accept the alternate hypothesis and reject the null hypothesis. And so in this 1 hour, I've tried to give the view of this descriptive analysis as well as a inferential analysis. So I hope you have understood the process. Now, if you have any query, you may ask. Do you have any query? Do you want to ask anything related to this?
It was a good session, ma'am. Thank you so much. I think it was very clear that we
Uh,
got
in
some
this
clarity.
1 hour, it is not possible for me
Yeah.
to explain each and everything or explain the test. But when it is specifically for SPSS, I will explain each and everything. But we have tried our level best so that we have not wasted our time in this, we can say, the punching of data. The major part, the basic part, we have skipped because we wanted that this SPSS analysis is to be done based on quantitative data. So apart from this, do you have any query? And thank you, Usha ma'am. I hope you and the other participants have understood.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks a lot for this wonderful session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you to all the participants. As you were enjoying and you were participating in answering the question, this seems that you were mentally there in the session. And thank you, ma'am. And thank you for your positive feedback. So, Nikita ji, Nikita ji, can we wind up the session? Hello, Nikita ji, Yograj sir, Yograj sir. Ma'am, you have raised your hand. Do you want to ask anything? Still, if you want to ask and if there is question in your mind, you can ask. Or we can wind up. So from my side, it is over. And thank you, each and every respondent for your positive feedback. Thank you, RFI.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such a wonderful and informative session which you have expanded your precious time on RFI's platform. And thanks to all dear participants also for being cooperative during the session. Hope, ma'am, we will see you again in the future on the same platform with the same vibrant vibe. Thank you so much, ma'am.